morning, DBS WTF. Welcome to Friday. It's that time again. The weekend is certainly here. Let's quickly tap into the news desk, see what's happening there, and we'll be back.
Good morning. The nation's homicide toll has risen to 32 after a 25-year-old identified as Kevin Adonis was fatally shot. The shooting occurred at Grand Riviere in Grosley in the wee hours of Thursday, 25th April.
I spoke with my brother yesterday morning. I met him in the day we spoke. He told me, well, he was going to sign because he had to sign. He had something in the station he had to sign. We had a good talk and stuff. But to tell you the truth, I really loved that brother of mine.
He describes the community as a relatively quiet one. He has also expressed disappointment with the government for its handling of crime. In other news, Tekla Goodman has been elected as the new president of the St. Lucia Civil Service Association, or CSA. The CSA Electoral Commission is reporting a greater voter turnout this time around.
We had some new candidates this time around, and there were issues with the trade union and so on. So people have to consider these issues and see if they want to bring in new blood, and provided that they campaign enough to be able to encourage people to come out and vote. For the commission, we've tried as much as possible to facilitate all voters. In the last election, we had cases where voters said that the units, they didn't get the opportunity to vote because the units were of time and that sort of thing. This didn't happen very much in this case. When shop stewards called and said that voters had missed the boat, we tried as much as possible to facilitate them by sending especially the mobile units back to them. And we had such a case yesterday. But the other polling stations did very well. The fixed polling stations, the Castries City Hall, the government buildings, we had it infrastructure, and we also had on the grounds of the CSA center itself.
The incoming president has applauded members for coming out to vote. She's also determined to restore unity to the CSA, she says, and that has struggled with infighting, member apathy, as well as general dissatisfaction over the years. A venture which seeks to increase vocational training opportunities for marginalized youth in St. Lucia has led to the construction of a catering and hospitality facility at the Center for Adolescent Renewal and Educational Care in Cul-de-Sac.
The project expects to achieve sustainable development goals, including no poverty, quality education, and decent work and economic growth. The marginalized youth will use opportunities provided through the upgradation of the skills in this institute to obtain better employment or to be self-employed, which would add to their own and by extension the country's economic growth.
The facility was made a reality by the Government of India and the International Labour Organization, or ILO. Speaking of labour, the trade union activists who are members of the National Workers Union, or NWU, and employed within the essential services and tourism sectors will participate in a one-day industrial forum organized by the National Workers Union. The event, which will be held mid-May this year, is intended to educate participants on a number of areas, including the significance of unionization of essential services and tourism workers, the Labour Act of St. Lucia 2006, and honest collective bargaining. Over 20 activists will participate in the one-day forum. The venue will be the John Burke King Industrial Academy at Unity House at Morris Mason Avenue in Sans-Souci in Castries. These are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
Thanks, Tim. Let's take a break and come right back. With an amazing young man from yesterday, Raheem. We couldn't finish talking to Raheem. There's so much to learn. So here's some more from Raheem.
When you look back in on the political landscape here,
You know what they normally say. There's this narrative that you know what, you might come in with all your ideas, you might have all these wonderful things that you want to do, but when you get into the system, it might be a different thing in terms of executing what the things that you may be passionate about. Do you see that do you foresee that's going to be an issue? And if you are faced with such, how do you intend to deal with it?
Yeah, I think that's always going to be an issue, Maureen, but I don't know that one should ever lose hope, even amidst the pessimism of the intellect that Gramsci speaks about. So in the sense that it is a difficulty, I think it really determines based on like-minded individuals coming together who are willing to put in the work and change things transformatively, but also cognizant as well that there are some things that require the level of piecemeal, transformative, cherry-picking approach. And therefore, it's determining what the balance is. What is the cherry-picking and the piecemeal approach in some regard, but what things require transformational approach. And I think a lot of it also depends on changing the mindset of people. I think solutions for a long time have not been spoken this, they've been spoken to. And people have told them that you should do this and do that, or you should be able to, or you must go here or go there, as opposed to having this broad-based national conversations on issues and on developmental considerations that brings people into the confidence of public officials, not again just around the electoral cycle time, but there must be a constant conversation that improves the social capital within a country. So a lot of the pushback that I believe that will be faced centers around the inability of people to understand a vision for a country, the inability at times to articulate one. So therefore, that is the pushback. But I think once we have one like-minded people who are willing to do the work, but also engaging with ordinary people every single day, reshaping the messaging at every single instance, reformulating the messaging, refining the messaging, then I think that it may be all right in the morning.
Right. I mean, you piqued my interest a little bit. I wanted to get your thoughts on what's your thoughts on human rights lawyers and their advocacy when it comes to police killings, because we've been seeing a lot of that, and I think there's a sort of a misbalance between the public's interpretation and how they, you know, the lawyers. So what is your take on that?
Yeah. So I mean, other than Mary Frances, I believe, who is the name, who's sort of been relentless in this pursuit, I have to admit I'm daunted by individuals who are daunted by the fact that a lot of individuals aren't advocating for greater protection of rights of people. And I'm daunted because I think people within the society don't see it as affecting them directly. Because in again, there is the quote that says that really one day they came for these individuals, and then they came for the Jews, and then they came for the Arabs, etc. But it didn't matter until they came comes for you. So I think there is that mismatch that you speak about, and I don't know that enough is being done. But also, I think the society in and of themselves has sort of conditioned their mind to a particular punitive approach to these things. They've adopted their mind to a punitive approach to crime, and therefore they believe that harsh penalties, increasing firearm legislation, among other things, is but the best way to solve it. But human rights lawyer obviously is an individual who does not see it like that, and therefore there is that great divide that hasn't been bridged because the two parties really aren't speaking to each other to be able to get them to understand what at least is the better view. But also in relation to the police killings as well, I think for a very long time the society has seen the police as an institution against them. There's a lot of literature that surrounds the view that's really an us and them relationship. And they've not seen the police in a way that is really agents of change within the community and within the society. And therefore, when these things happen, it erodes the public confidence, whether it be justified or not. But also because of the slow pace or the lack of impartiality of investigations, individuals don't have the confidence that in circumstances when there are police killings or in circumstances where there are killings in the country, that individuals can get a speedy resolution and know exactly what has happened. And therefore, that is part of the problem of the lack of confidence in, I don't think it's just police, but public officials in general. But where do we go from there? How do we solve it? It's a real transformation of how they reviewed and also the system, of how quickly these things get resolved, and also ensuring that the police at times are not always shrouded in complexities or lack of information, or this blindness of information or hiding of from information, but engaging with people so that they too understand the investigative process, they understand why and how, and they also get resolution on issues. I tell you, I organize so many times when I see parents who just want answers about why their son or their daughter may have died at the hands of police, and they see themselves as being in a wilderness for way too long, and therefore that breeds the level of lack of trust that we don't want.
Wonderful. Now, right? Oh gosh, I could sit here and talk to you all day, but I'll reserve that for when you get back down on island, and I'll camp outside your house, and we can have that nice little, maybe a little barbecue, and have that wonderful conversation. But I do appreciate the fact that you took the time off to connect with us in Youth Month, you know, to share some of your insight and your inspiration and your motivation with us as well. We want to take the opportunity to wish you all the very best, and we look forward to the bright future that you hold, man.
Thank you so much. Another time we'll have a much longer show where we can delve into so many other issues.
When you get back on island, just holler, because trust me, I got time for you, son. I got
For
time.
sure.
I got time for you.
Thank you so
All
much.
the best, right?
Take care.
All right,
Thank
love.
you.
Take care now.
Secondly, the MSME, the small loan grant facility that was initiated some time ago, well, they've started to realize the returns on those grants. And we caught up with the managing director and also one of the recipients of those grants.
So we're here at the Commerce Building, the Herald in Rock facility. We're here for MSME. We're here with the Director of Small Business, Mr. Ale. We've met with him before. We're coming back to it, but I think we have right here. Is it an entrepreneur or recipient?
Yes.
Mr. Ruben is here with us. So, Mr. Ale, the last time we were here, you were so excited about what was happening.
Right.
It is wonderful that we are able to come back here again and capture progress.
Yes.
So, can you break it down for us? What's happening today?
Yeah, well, since the last time we spoke, I think we were very early into the reviewing of applications. But we are at the point where we are at the end of the review of applications, and we've had close to 300 persons that were approved for the MSME loan grant program. And we've seen a number of persons who have already started using that money to build their businesses, to develop it, to do some of the things that they had applied for the funds for. And that's why we have, you know, one of our entrepreneurs here today who had received the approval and who had done some work on their business and stuff.
Wonderful. Now, Mr. Ruben, I'm coming right over to you. How would you explain the process? Because, I mean, Mr. Director here have to speak from one angle, and that is fine. But in your department, how was it? I mean, how would you rate the process, you know, and everything that you've went through and where you are right now?
Well, it was a big improvement to me. Yeah, because it helped a lot. Some places I couldn't reach, it helped me. Yeah.
The process, you know, applying. What was it like?
Oh, well,
Did you think it was difficult or easy? What was it?
It had one or two challenging parts, but it was kind of fun for me getting it through, you know, because I really wanted it to be done, you know. But it had one or two challenging parts, like the business plan. Well, there must be somebody who into accounts and things to know how to balance it off, you know. Yeah, but it was good.
But it also augurs as a learning process, because this is for there, but getting into business entrepreneurship, you need to know how to get this thing. So it started the process for you, enlightenment.
Right, it enlightened me in a lot of different things, you know, I didn't know. Yeah, so that maybe I can apply them to my business right now.
Right, and what are you into, by the way?
Well, food, cooking of food. Yeah, natural food, vegetarians.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we need to talk. Do you have an establishment, a physical establishment?
Yeah. Right by the Bexar bus stop, Ital Palace.
Ah.
In the back lane, behind the bakery, behind the Kada's bakery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I may
Yeah,
have gotten food from your establishment
yeah,
before.
yeah, right.
Right. What do you think of the overall thing in terms of, you know, that program being in place for St. Lucian's?
Well, it's good because I notice most of our young people now, they focus on vegetarian foods, you know, and it's good, it's good, it's good.
Wonderful.
What
are some of the things you were able to achieve with the funds?
Okay, I changed my stove, which was wearing out already. I got a new working table. I renovated my place, you know, made more space. I also tried to nice up the front, which was customers area.
Oh.
Yeah, which caused people. I noticed there was an increase of customers coming in through after that. Yeah, which was good. Yeah.
Wow.
So it really helped.
Oh, congratulations to you. And that's just one story. You said you had over 300 persons, applicants that were successful?
Yeah, successful.
What is the range in terms of the field? This is food. What are some of the other ranges?
Yeah, all sectors. The only sectors that could not have participated were not-for-profit organizations and accommodations, which would have been taken care of by the Ministry of Tourism. So we had persons, manufacturers, persons into services, and the services range from hair salons, nail techs. We had persons who do auto repairs, persons who do IT services on the manufacturing end, persons who are into teas, juices, seasonings. I mean, it was far-reaching. Also, we had persons who were into primary agriculture. So persons got support with their farms, to improve their farms, to do renovation work on their farms. So a number of persons from various sectors were able to benefit from the program and be able to use the funds in a way that would help them to improve their productivity or improve, as Ruben says, how their businesses looked, and also to help them to improve their standards, for their clients and their customers.
Wonderful. So where do we head now? Is that it, or the program continues?
Yeah, the program continues. The second call for applications commenced on the 2nd of April. We have been receiving a number of applications so far. The deadline for the receipt of applications is the 30th of April, which is next week, Tuesday. So again, we want to encourage the persons who are interested in participating in this program to submit the information that is needed in order for their applications to be considered.
Wonderful. Is there anything that they need to know, what they need to present?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say that the information is available on the Ministry of Commerce's website. You would see the banner with the MSME loan grant. But just to let persons know, you would need an application, complete an application. You would need a business plan, as Ruben said. You need to provide proof of address, your IDs, and we want the invoices of the items that you plan on purchasing as part of your application. Again, we want persons to have strong applications, so persons who are into food or into, they have a salon or barber, their certificates to supply us with that. Persons who have been into business for a little while, we need to see proof that you've actually been in business to support your application and to strengthen the success rate of your application.
Something just crossed my mind, and I'm going to go off my wits on this one here. You mentioned they need to provide the list of the items that they need. So it have to be related to purchasing of stuff.
Yes, definitely. So
that's a condition.
Yeah.
They cannot take a load and say, well, okay, I'm applying, I'm taking this, to go on take a next load. Like, okay, this
no, definitely not.
I would need $5,000 to get a $15,000 load. So can I apply for this as my down payment for this?
You'd be surprised that persons have attempted to do that.
Really?
Yes, but that is not what the program is about.
Right.
We need to know exactly what you plan to do, and we need invoices for every aspect of it. And basically, checks would be written to the suppliers or to the service providers in order to procure the services or to get the goods. Again, it's a safe way to ensure that persons do what they do with the funds.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're done here. The rest is up to you guys. Ruben is living proof that this actually happened and is happening, and you too can benefit. So go to the website. The website is what again?
So their website is www.commerce.gov.lc.
And welcome to this morning's SocaCize session. Leading the wine is Sarah and myself, Shani. Let's get ready to flaunt with the SocaCize. This morning's workout is going to be a bacchanal warm-up. Let's get ready to sweat with SocaCize. Alright, so arms up. We're starting. Flick, next side, hands on the head and roll. Now we're going faster. Click, click. Hands. Click and. Hands. We're going to the side, drop. Hold it. Next side, push the hips back. A little faster. Let's go. Take it up. Hands on the head. Roll it. Click and keep going. Let's go. 4, 2, hands. Drop it. Forward. Bend. Reverse the hands. Forward. Back. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Take it up. Flick. And keep going. Last set. Hands on the head. Roll it. Drop. And next side. Next side. Next side. Little faster. 4, 3, 2. Take it up. Slow. Next side. Good. A little faster. Let's go. Boy. Yes. Roll it. Faster. And roll it. Click. Roll it. Forward. Reverse. And that was this morning's session. We hope you are feeling sexy, sultry, and strong. Have a wonderful day.
Well, right, there you have it. That's our show for this morning. Two nice and all amazing pictures. And I hope you will go on out and have a wonderful weekend. There's quite a lot happening. And then, of course, when we come out of this weekend, you already know what's going on. Next week is going to be one of those kind of weeks. Holidays, May 1st. That's my month, by the way. A little secret. It's my month. That's my month, my birth month. So I'm excited to kick off the month when we get into next week. But do have an amazing and a safe weekend. Let's do it again on Monday.